Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am so excited because my friend, yes, friend, Karalynne Call, is on the podcast today. And Karalynne, in our Cancer Crew group, so many people like put your products in there. And one time I was like, guys, I know Karalynne, she's my friend. And they were like, what? You know Just Ingredients? And I was like, yes, I've known her. And so it's an honor to be connected with you again in this way. And you've just had so much success. And I'm seriously so grateful, Karalynne. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me. It's fun to be on here, especially when we are friends. And people probably don't know that you are a lot of the reason why I turned Just Ingredients into a business. Because one time at a high fitness
I
class,
remember this.
yes, one
Oh
time
my
I
gosh.
was just doing Just Ingredients as a little hobby. And one time at a high fitness class, you were telling me about your cookbook, or it was a meal prep thing or something, and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you were making money off of it, and that I could make money
Yeah.
helping others, that it was purely to help others, but also monetize to help my family. And I
Yes.
went for it, and I did it because
Yes.
of you. So
I love you. I remember that conversation. We were in my cousin's kitchen after I had just
yeah.
taught you a class, and we were talking. And I was like, Carlin, this is amazing. Like, you should be making so many products around this, like, because you're really helping people and you're the real deal. And like, so yeah. And obviously, have blown me out of the water, and you now need to take over my business, and I'm going to come and ask advice from you. So
No,
thank
not at
you.
all. You're doing amazing things in a different realm. So we all
Oh,
have our paths and journeys that we help people on.
yes, definitely. And I think that it's kind of a full circle moment right now because when when I was talking to you like about why you started Just Ingredients, it was because of your mental health and also because of your sister.
Yep.
And so I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to that about, the story of your sister and why Just Ingredients kind of evolved from there.
Yeah. So in order to tell about my sister, I have to tell my part, if that's
Yes,
okay, just
please.
because
Yeah.
her part didn't make sense until my part happened. So long story short, because mine is a long story, so I will give like the 3-minute version of it. But
Perfect.
years ago, I found myself with really bad depression. And I was like, I haven't always been like this. So something must have happened like in my body. But this was before the time of like Google and, Chat GPT, and like you had to go to doctors to find help. So I was going to doctor after doctor and could not find any help. Everybody was like, there's nothing we can do to help depression. And granted, this was almost now 20 years ago, which is crazy. If you have a doctor like that today, which they still exist, which is crazy, run and go find a new doctor, because we know so
Seriously.
much that can help with depression. Um, but I went to doctor after doctor, and they all kept just saying, like, there's nothing we can do to help your body heal. We can give you an antidepressant, which, don't get me wrong, that ended up later on helping me
Yeah.
for the time being. But
Yeah.
I wanted to heal, I wanted to change, and no one knew anything. And so a couple of years into this, I finally had just had it. I was like, I am being a terrible mom. I some days can't get out of bed. Some days are just beyond frustrated. Some days I can't even make decisions. This life is terrible. Like, I don't want to live like this anymore. And so I actually attempted suicide. And thankfully, by the grace of God, the attempt failed. And so at that moment, I realized I had hit rock bottom, that I had really reached the lowest of lows. And that's when I went to my husband and was like, "Hey, we've got to figure this out. Like, I've got to do something." And so it took actually 2 years after that to find a doctor that would actually help me heal. And so I finally found a doctor who was like, "Yeah, your depression is just your body screaming for help. It just means that something is off. So we need to do like blood tests and urine tests and saliva tests and all these different tests and see what's going on with your body." And so I had from little things to big things that were wrong, like low in vitamin D, low in B vitamins. I wasn't absorbing my B vitamins. I had cortisol issues. I had liver issues. I had food intolerances. I mean, the list went
Wow.
on of different things. And so, of course, my body couldn't function the way that it needed to because of all of these issues. So, during that 2-year stint of trying to find help, my sister was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And she had four little kids at the time, and she actually found the lump because she thought it was a clogged duct while she was nursing. And the clogged duct wouldn't go away. And so then she finally went to the doctor, and they found out that it was stage 4 and it had metastasized and things like that. And so she was working with her oncologist, just fighting for her life, right? And the oncologist said to her, you need to really do things to help your body through this. Like, you have got to quit eating sugar and processed foods. Like, you need to just eat real foods. Your body right now needs the real foods. And at this point, I'm dealing with the depression. I had grown up just eating whatever was on the store shelves. Like,
Totally.
I
Yeah.
had cereal for breakfast, Frosted Flakes for breakfast. I had a bologna sandwich on white bread probably at school. And who knows when I had a fruit or a veggie. Like, I just,
Yeah.
ate the stuff that my mom made that she thought was fine off the store shelf. So he's like saying, I remember he even taught her about high fructose corn syrup. And back then, he was like, this is not a good ingredient. Like, avoid products that have this in it. And he was teaching her about ultra processed foods and avoid them. And then he was telling her things like, avoid all your Teflon pans. Like, that Teflon, if it's scratched, it's leaching into your food, get rid of those. And then he
Wow.
was like, get rid of aluminum deodorant. The aluminum, you don't want to be rubbing that in your armpits. Like, get rid of that. And he's like saying, get rid of, go the grass-fed route on like meats and milk and things like that. Get rid of those that could be full of hormones. And so he's
Wow.
telling her all these things.
Very
And I'm
ahead of his time, huh?
Yes,
Like,
and I'm like learning from him as well. And then when I found that doctor, mine 2 years later, that was like, okay, nutrients really play a part in your healing. I want you to avoid ultra processed foods, and I really want you to focus on real foods, and I want you to clean up your beauty products, and I want you to
like
look at your
all this
cooking things.
cross.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the same stuff that my sister is being told by her oncologist, but yet I'm being told the exact same stuff from somebody across the world, across the nation in a different state about my depression. And so at that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, we're in charge of like taking care of our body and how we fuel it. And our bodies can't do the best for us if we aren't fueling it properly. And so it was at that point that I then went on a journey with that doctor of mine to learn everything I could about nutrition and food and healing. And then at that point, I went and went back to school and got my nutrition certificate. I went to all these conferences to learn anything I could about food and how the science behind like all different types of foods and the chemistry behind them, and anything I could to learn about nutrition, because once I went on this journey with this doctor, I was able to get off my antidepressants, and it's been 15 years and I haven't been able, or I have never gone back on them, because I've been able to manage my depression.
Wow.
And so, so it was like 7 years ago that I saw a lot of people around me struggling with everything from depression and anxiety to autoimmune conditions to migraines to chronic fatigue to chronic pain. I
Yeah.
mean, you name it, everybody was dealing with something. And I was like, I just wish I could help people, because I know if they took care of their body better and made some lifestyle changes and some food changes, I know they would feel better. So I started Just Ingredients because of my sister's journey and my journey to help others. And then that little hobby has turned into the business that it is today.
The monumental business. You were seriously one of the first people that I would say you're like the pioneer in this space. Everybody was kind of like following after you because you knew about all of this stuff before it was even popular. Now it's kind of getting popular, right? And like, oh, toxins, da, da, da. But like, I remember the studies you were talking about before ChatGPT was even a thing, and before, like, you could Google these things, and before the government was talking about them and everything. So, you really are the OG, and
I
I'm
was Maha before Maha existed.
no, for real, you were like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I remember you talking about a study about some powder some like toxin that they have in baby powder. Like,
Oh yeah, the talc.
talc. I was like, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
talc and then it's gonna be wrong. And then
Yep.
like that was before, we really knew about it. And then one of my influencer friends was like, oh my gosh, I found this really incredible woman and she is telling me all of the cleaning products that I should switch out. And it was, yeah, it was just like it was such a cool experience too, because, and we can cut this out if you don't want to talk about this, but can we talk a little bit about how your prayer? Do you remember talking to me about this?
Yeah.
Is that okay if we go here? I don't know if you want to associate that with your brand or not. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was like, let me, and I don't know if you remember this, but before your page really exploded, you and I were talking and you said, I just said a prayer and I was like, Lord, I'm doing everything that I can. If you want me to do something with this, please help me. Like I've done all I can. Lord, it's in your hands. And then I swear it was in the week that one of my influencer friends posted about you and she was like, I love this channel. And she tagged you and then you kind of started that way. And it was like within the week of you saying that prayer and us having that conversation of you kind of being frustrated, like I've done so much work and now Lord, this is in your hands, and you kind of gave it over to God, and he was like, thank you, here we go. Can you speak to any part of that, like how this is kind of been a spiritual journey for you? Because I think that's missing a lot with when people talk about the body, like how much God is involved with all of this.
Well, I'm actually really amazed that you remember that story. And so I don't share it very often at all, just because I keep
Yeah.
business and spiritual sometimes separated. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will tell the story because it was really interesting. So when, like I said, when I felt like everybody around me was really sick, I did say to God in prayer, like, I just wish I could help them. Like, I've been there, I've been in that darkness, and I now know what light feels like and happiness feels like. How can I help them? And so I really felt like the Instagram page was the way to do it, just to give little simple tips out there, like, hey, you guys, this ketchup at Walmart, one has high fructose corn syrup, which degrades your tryptophan, which isn't going to help you feel very good. And there's one sitting right next to it for the same price without the high fructose corn syrup in it. Like I was just trying to give little tips. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
what I do.
Simple. Yeah.
But I had 6 kids at the time and all 6 lived at home. So taking care of 6 kids is a really busy job. But posting on social media is a really busy job. And so after about it was probably like 18 months, maybe 2 years of just posting on social media, I only had like 2,000 followers, but I was fine with that. But I did go to God in prayer and just said, like, okay, I felt really inspired to do
Yes.
this page. So I've done it, but I have 6 kids at home and I feel like I need to stop posting on there and just take care of my 6 kids. And I, in the prayer, felt like, no, you need to keep going. So then couple days later, I'm like, God, I don't think you heard me right. Like, I really just want to take care of my 6 kids and focus on motherhood and focus on that. But I do know it was you that gave me the second chance of life. Like, I will never deny that. So, but I'm coming to tell you I'm done doing this Instagram. And again, I heard no, just keep going. So a third time I went to him and was like, okay, you really have not heard me. Like, I'm just letting you know I'm not doing this anymore because I'm going to be focused on being a mom, taking care of my kids. And I heard just, how you just feel something in your entire soul, your gut, your mind,
Yes.
everything. I just it's almost like I heard this loud voice, like, do you trust me? And I was like, okay, let's come to terms with myself. Like, do I really? I'm going to either yes or no. And I was like, yes, I do. Okay, I'll just see what unfolds. And literally, it was like a week later that I went from 2,000 to 10,000 followers. And another week that I went to 30,000 followers. And then
Oh, it was like,
within a month that I was at 100,000 followers. And once I was at 100,000 followers, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a customer base. I could start making products that I can't find out there that are nourishing to the body. And that's when I started making products that are nourishing to the body. So Um, I do rely on God all the time through my business, and I tell people he's my best business partner.
Oh my gosh, I'm definitely stealing that because I think I'm kind of in the same area as you are right now. I'm like, God, I know that you brought this like protocol into my life because I mean, I, to be candid, like I was so suicidal when I was going through chemotherapy. Like I had planned it. I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. I had done everything that my psychiatrist told me. I had done it, I had done ketamine, I had done TMS therapy. I was like everything. And I was like praying and it was the most horrific experience because you know me, like I loved health and I loved Ben Bickman, blood sugar stabilization. Like I was so healthy when I got diagnosed and it was so confusing. And then I feel like when they put all of these toxic things into my body, I couldn't feel God anymore. And I felt like it almost severed that spiritual connection for me. And then God, I had to be brave, right? And like be like, okay, I'm going to be taking this, like these vitamins and this, anti-parasitic protocol. And okay, but like I was done. Like I told God that I was going to be a really good angel for my family. And like, because I had, after my stage 4 diagnosis, like they gave me 2 years, if 2 to 5 years, if I did all of their treatment, which was horrific, like horrific drugs that I could not do. And so I really appreciate you saying that because I do feel like it's bigger than me. And it's so hard to kind of like start a business around that because you don't want to, you don't want to like give people the ick, right? But like also it's like it's so important. And I feel like when people like you are successful, and I would say myself too, then like the world gets better, right? Because we have such good hearts and I've known you for so long and you have such a good heart and such a desire to help. And I hope that my message can be similar to yours because it is the same. It's like being able to honor and respect that the body has this internal healing system. And when you do remove all of the crap and you nourish, then it's incredible what can happen. And so, like, thank you. I feel like you're so inspiring to me to just keep going, because my life is just crazy right now.
Well, thank you. And you are helping so many people, which is incredible. And like I said earlier in the show, like we go through hard times so that we can then go help others. Like,
Yeah.
why else? They're lessons for us to learn. And so I was like, I was given a second chance of life. I've got to do something with this. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
you,
same, right? Like, I should
same.
not be alive right now 2 different times. I was like the cancer
Yeah.
and, it's crazy.
But
And then my brother.
and I love that you speak openly, though, about the depression that you experience because I think a lot of cancer patients go through depression. And a lot of it is the trauma because trauma is a huge factor of depression, but also nutrient deficiency is a huge factor of depression. And that's what happens when you're going through chemo. So now you're putting the two main drivers of depression together. Of course, cancer patients are going to deal with depression.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you said that because I had so much judgment on myself. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Like, I'm so good at working out and I'm still trying to do that. Like, I'm so good at the mindset work. And it's like my body actually couldn't. Like, all that it was doing was like despair and fear. And like, it physically couldn't feel joy anymore. Like, it couldn't like produce it or something. Does that,
Yeah,
am
that's
I,
exactly how I felt. That's why I was like, I'm done. I can't keep living life like this. And I think people think about the suicide and how they're going to attempt to end their life when they lose hope. When they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm doomed with this for the rest of my time here on the earth. I've lost hope. And so I'm trying to teach that, yeah, you might be going through a really hard time like cancer, but there is hope out there. Like, don't give up on hope. Hope is the
Yeah.
thread that keeps you here.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just supposed to be asking you questions, not bawling my eyes out. But anyways,
Well, it's a hard
I
time when we
yeah,
reflect on our hard
Yeah.
lessons in life that we have to go through.
Yeah. Well, it's just really confusing because like honestly, like I feel like it changed my personality so much, like all of the drugs that they were giving me. And I like really had no control over it. And like I just I don't know, it was so hard. I'm such a spiritual person and I feel like when you have so many things inside of you, it's like your body's so loud that it can't hear this like still small voice that is trying to speak to you, right? Because the body's so loud and screaming and saying like I need, it's like I need attention or I'm fighting, I'm fighting, I'm fighting and it's like God's like I'm trying to help you, but like this is like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I think when you do your approach to life and you nourish with good things and remove the bad things, then it's like this beautiful channel of like a river,
Yeah.
and it's just like able to flow. So I just went to Germany and now I'm like, Carlin, you need to come with me in freaking January. They ran
I
my blood through that.
I
I'm like,
watched
come with me.
these.
The
It was
apheresis.
amazing.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, Carlin would love this because I like held the toxins at the end of what they took out and you can't get it here yet. And so little plug, you should come with me. We should go together. But
That would be amazing. I loved everything you were doing. I was like, I know
I
Europe's
know.
ahead of us and all the alternative stuff, but some of it's coming. There's
Yeah.
clinics in Utah that are getting some of the things. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
I'm very, very happy. So going on to that, I have two questions. Number one, what are your like if you had to pick three of your products that you cannot live without? Like you cannot, obviously, because you have so many, but like what are your like and I know this is a hard question, but you're like, okay, top three, like I cannot live without these three. And then your favorite detoxing practices, which I already kind of saw this on your Instagram yesterday, but yeah, three of your products that you cannot live
Okay.
without.
Yeah, that is a really hard question because I make the products that I want. Really, like
Yeah.
I was just telling yesterday on a TikTok live, like I made our probiotics because it's a pre, pro, and postbiotic because I literally could not find anything on the market that had the postbiotic at the time. Now some are doing it, but at the time everything was a pre and pro. I
Yeah.
couldn't
I've
find
never even heard of the
post.
post.
Well, and the post is actually the part that helps heal the lining of your gut to help all
Wow.
those with leaky gut. And most Americans are dealing with leaky gut because that's why they're all bloating and hurting after they eat and things like that. But that's a
Yeah.
whole another subject. So it's hard because I've made all of the products for me. And
Yeah.
so if I were to name three, though, probably the protein powder, just because I have that every single day. And after manufacturing products, I have learned so much about what people hide on their in their products and hide on their label. And we use grass-fed whey from New Zealand, which is the cleanest whey in the entire world. I could do a whole episode on that because it's incredible. And we use only real food in our protein powder. And so it's just like you're eating food. And so some people are like, oh, you shouldn't have more than one or two protein shakes a day. I'm like, well, that's because it's full of junk. Like ours is
Right.
just food. That's like saying
Yeah.
you can only eat one or two times a day. So, anyways, protein powder. Plus, I don't think women get enough protein in their diet. The protein is just full of those amino acids. We need those amino acids for literally every function of our being.
Yeah.
The second thing would probably be my methylated B complex because I made it for me and my kids. So I have told my kids, like, if I die, just take this supplement the rest of your life and eat real food and you'll be good.
I love that.
Because,
All right. Ordering.
yeah,
Like, everybody go order this right now.
there
I'm
you go.
sure my cancer in my cancer group, they have like a list of all of your supplements that like one of her name is Maggie. Maggie, shout out to you. I'm talking to Carlin. But Maggie has like a list of all of your products that she's taking and she went to like an integrative oncologist, Dr. Keneally, if you know her on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love
so yeah, so she is going to Dr. Keneally, and Dr. Keneally, like your stuff is top tier. So
oh,
yes, I'm
that's
sure she's already taking that. So and tell me why you love that because methylated means that you're able to absorb them better. Is that correct?
yeah. So anything you like put in your mouth, it has to convert into a form your body can absorb. And I don't absorb B vitamins very well. I have the MTHFR variant, which a lot of people have, but I have double of the same variant. And so it just means I've got more issues. That's part of the reason for my depression, but back in the day, we didn't know that. And so this methylated B vitamins that your body can absorb because they're methylated. But I also put herbs in there that help the liver detox, because those with the MTHFR gene have a hard time detoxing. And so these are just things that help support your liver. So
Like
taking
milk
those,
thistle or
yeah, dandelion root, things
I'm
like
so
that. Yeah.
proud of myself right now that I know that I know a little bit like Karalynne, not even I know this
You're
much,
so
but you
smart.
know,
You're
you
so
know,
smart.
oh, I
You
don't
know
know.
it all.
But
Yeah.
so that's
So
so fascinating. I love that. That's so
yeah.
good.
So
So it can be a liver
have
support.
all of my kids have that variant, and so then that's why I was like, just take this. This is amazing thing. I think it's amazing for everybody. I wish all B vitamins out there were, one, methylated, and two, had support for your liver. It'd be
Yes.
amazing, but they don't. So buy mine. No,
Yeah.
just
No,
kidding.
for real. No, actually.
And then the third product, that is really hard because I have so many that would tie. I mean, the probiotics, like I said, but also magnesium. I do love our magnesium. Most women are low in magnesium just because our food doesn't provide it, our soil, like it used to.
Mm-hmm.
And magnesium is needed for like 8 different functions in the body. And our magnesium is 5 different forms, which I love because some magnesiums are better for the brain, some are better for the gut, some are better for sleep, some are better for
Interesting.
energy. And so it's hard to go buy a magnesium on the shelf and buy like 5 different types. It's better just to have a complex of them. So it's a magnesium complex. So those would probably be my top 3.
Well,
But my top 4, well, my fourth one
and
is
we haven't
coming
even
up.
gotten into beauty yet. Like
I
I'm
know. Our fourth
like
one is coming Black Friday, and it's finally an energy drink in a can that nourishes your body and
I
doesn't do
saw
crap to your
this.
body.
I
Yeah.
saw this on your stories and I was like, is she coming out with a canned version? I was like so like
Yes.
excited for you and I'm so excited to try it. Because if you notice, I'm very scared to promote products as a two-time cancer survivor, right? Because like people are looking at you, but it's really nice when you walk into even Harmon's, right? Like your products are all in a ton of grocery stores, and I was in, you know, where was I? I was somewhere and I was like, oh my gosh, they have just ingredients here. I think it was Idaho or something. But it's so nice to be like, oh, I'm good. I don't even have to look at the back, right? Because like we know you and like you're the real deal. And so thank you for helping us save money to not have to do our own research and get our own testing, which is nice. Like even if you don't have the MT whatever, I always say mother
MTHFR.
gene. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm like, it looks like mother father or something.
Mother
I don't know.
effer. It
Mother
looks like
effer, yeah. I'm like, why does that come to my mind? But even if you don't have that, then you are still good to take that product, and so it's like you don't have to do all the testing for that gene, right? I'd imagine.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that and that testing is a lot right now. I hope that it's going to be more streamlined, but it's so nice to be able to just be like, okay, whatever Karalynne is saying, like I'm just going to do. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to trust. I don't have to worry about anything because you were the number one and you do your research and you're the real deal, and it's very nice. So you save money, and I'm like obviously plugging your products, but it's not hard to do. You save money and you know that you're not getting crap in your body, which is nice because
Thank you.
it's
I
so
appreciate
scary.
that. It's
Yeah.
what I'm fighting for. Like, to me, this is a bigger mission than just
Yeah.
making products. It's like, let me teach other manufacturers how to do this, because the fact that we don't make our food products from food is unbelievable to me. It's
It's
gotten out of
frightening.
control and ridiculous. And so it's been fun because I have taught a lot of other manufacturers how to do this. And 5 years ago, we were the only protein powder really made with, there were a couple others made with real food, where now there's like, I could name probably 20 different ones that are making with
Wow.
real food. So I'm like so happy to see this shift in how we're making food.
And you can tell that in your business too. It's really is like a rising of the tides of like, hey, like everybody, like there's room for everyone. We need to start eating real food. This is like this, and I really do believe that it's like a God's mission because he's hearing so he not a God, God's mission, because he's hearing so many people praying and like, I'm so depressed and I feel so sick and like, help me, help me, help me, help me. And he's like, okay, I am. And he's going to put, people like Karalynne on the internet to be a voice of hope and healing. And it's just so needed right now. Like, it's just so scary, everything that we're dealing with. And,
Yeah,
it's like
it
I
is.
was so healthy and I got cancer. It makes no
Yeah,
sense. Which
yeah.
leads me, sorry, I keep cutting you
I'm
off.
just gonna say
I have 100 questions for you.
I
Um,
know. I was just saying it's so crazy what's out there.
yeah. Okay, so if you got cancer, which you won't because you're doing everything right anyways, what would your approach be? Because I think which is a hard question, I know, but like your approach to things is so beautiful. And so since you've dealt with your sister having breast cancer and everything, what would your approach be if you got a diagnosis?
So, I love that you say you won't because you do everything right. But part of
You
me,
won't.
I really believe cancer has a lot of parts to it. I don't think it's just a nutrition thing. I think it's also an energetic thing. It's an emotional thing. It can be related to trauma. There's lots of aspects to cancer. That's why we don't have the magic cure. And so, okay, let me just back up a little bit. I've had 200 plus doctors on my own podcast. And the biggest discrepancy I see is that everybody is either Western medicine or Eastern medicine, and they can't get along. And I'm
It's
like, why
so
can't we
annoying.
merge the best of both worlds to come together? And so if I were diagnosed, if my kids were diagnosed, that's what I would do. I would take the best from the Western, whatever that would be for my type of cancer. Sometimes chemo isn't the best. Sometimes radiation is the best. Sometimes it's not the best. Sometimes
Right.
there's a new trial drug. Sometimes there, you know what I mean? I would find out what the best was, not just what status quo is. I don't want status quo. I don't want normal. I don't want it what everybody else is doing. I don't want just what one doctor is telling me to do on the Western side. I'm
Right.
going to go talk to a lot of people and find out what the best is for mine on there. But I would never, ever, ever do the Western without the Eastern. Never. Your body needs the the high dose vitamin C's, the ozone, whatever the good nourishing foods, if there's certain herbs. I know sometimes herbs contradict the medicine, so you have to work with doctors, right? But there are great herbs that would help. Homeopathics, like just so many different things I would do on the Eastern side, and I would blend them together. And so I
Yes.
think that's where our big miss is with cancer is people are trying only Eastern stuff or only Western stuff, but let's bring it together. I have a neighbor who did bring it together on a cancer that is very life threatening, and he is doing fabulous. And I think it's because he brought so much Eastern. He needed to do a surgery where they removed part of an organ. He needed to do some of the stuff. But then he was doing Eastern the whole time. He was getting those high dose vitamin C IVs. He was doing hyperbaric. He was doing, all these alternative treatments along with it. And so that is my stance. But, oh, and also with that though, okay, one more thing I would do. I'm a big believer in energy. Our whole body is made of energy. I mean, our heart can't beat without energy. Our neurons can't move without energy. Our cells don't function without energy. So I actually would also go do energy work with it because
Totally.
to me, I mean, this is a whole nother topic I could do, but our cells, sick cells, right, mean unhealthy you. I think sick, S-I-C-K, sick
Yeah.
cells are due to energy issues, whether that's trapped emotions or other energy
Yeah.
things happening. So I would go do the energy work along with it. But I would
Well,
never do just one and not the other.
yeah. Well, and people think that that's like hippy dippy, but like, look at science. Literally, the cell, it's energy. That's it. It's like, well, what's at that? What's at the base of that? Well, what's at the base of that? It's energy. That's it.
Well,
That's
I
like
know
our whole world.
that's what blows my mind. It's like you'll go trust an EKG in the hospital or EEG. Like they're all EGG, they're all made, I mean, those test energy. That's what they're testing.
Yeah.
So you'll trust that EKG machine, but then not think that energy work will help the body. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And also, I'm
Yes.
always like, how do you think your heart is beating, people? It's energy. So,
Like
so come
that.
at me if you want to talk about energy.
Well, it's so fascinating too because when I went to Germany, they were giving me, high dose vitamin C, and they had these needles and stuff, but they were so careful with the body of like how can we like make sure that you're okay energetically. Like they like had so much love, and they had heating pads, and it was like they were treating you like an actual person instead of just like a body to prod. And so I think that energetically I didn't have such a trauma response, right? Like it was like it wasn't so painful and everything. And so it was able to regulate my nervous system and like make sure my prefrontal cortex is still online and like not be in that fight or flight mode. And it was just because energetically they showed up so differently. And it's so important.
Yeah.
You're coming with me. That's it. I'm booking our flights.
Uh,
Actually,
I would love
you would freak out over like these doctors. They would love you. They'd be so obsessed with you. They have like these things that block all the EMF in your
oh,
room, and
love
it's
it
like
even more.
you would love it. Like you can walk on the grounds because they've never used pesticides on this ground because it used to be this private piece of property. So they've never used pesticides on
Oh,
this
that's
ever
incredible.
or
That's
anything, any
incredible.
toxins.
We could do a
Okay.
whole podcast on pesticides, on
Oh,
EMFs. I mean, yeah.
yes. Oh, like it was, yes. Yeah, you need to go here. You need to buy it. And it should be the just ingredients. Just kidding. So
Someday.
last question. Oh, there's so many I want to ask you, but what's your favorite way to detox?
Oh, yeah, you did ask that in that other question, and I forgot.
I
Um, okay, so I sort of have a stance on detox, and I sort of have it sort of bugs me on social media, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because everybody on social media, you hear all these things about these detox cleanses and these detox juices, but then they do this detox juice cleanse, and a week later they're eating their,
Diet Coke.
McDonald's hamburger and their ice cream at night or whatever, right? So I tell people your body and your liver is working 24/7 to detox. Every second of the day, your body is working to detox. So the best way to detox is to support your body 24/7 in detoxing. And so, meaning the lifestyle factors that you choose. Exercise is a great way to detox, right? The sweat that is coming out of your body, your skin is your largest organ. It's going to help you detox. So get that sweat going and get it out, right? On a daily basis. Sleep. Sleep is a huge way to detox. It's when your brain clears its trash. It's when you can get rid of so many toxins, but yet so many of us don't sleep well. We're waking up in the middle of the night. We're just not getting enough hours of sleep. I mean, we're not making sleep a priority. And so it's like just sleep and exercise and positive thoughts, and then eating whole foods all day. I mean, every day. People do not eat enough fruits and veggies, and that fiber is a great way to help your body detox. But then the nutrients that are in the fruits and veggies that support the liver are amazing. I mean, I could go on the science of the food. You've got veggies and herbs that are chelators that actually bind onto toxins to help them get them removed out of your body. That fiber is helping get toxins out of your body. And so instead of freaking out about like, oh, which detox cleanse should I do or detox juice should I do? Let's eat real food every day. Let's eat more fruits and veggies. Let's get the right amount of fiber every day. Let's exercise every day. Let's do the
Right.
little things every day that will detox your body the best. And I
And
say
they're not
all
expensive.
yeah. And I say all of that with one caveat. That is, if you truly know you have something, like my son came home from the Philippines, he lived there for 2 years. He came home with major mold issues. And so, of course, he's going to eat the real food and he's going to exercise, but that's not going to be enough to get rid of that dangerous mold. And so, we did have to do a very specific mold protocol to help get that mold out. Sort of even like with the parasites. Like if you
Right.
know you've got parasites or think you do, like there are parasite cleanses. But just for overall detoxing, I think it needs to be a daily thing that everybody does.
Yes, I agree. Okay, I swear, one last question. Actually, maybe two. Number one, if you could recommend one book that you have read that you
Oh
love
boy.
on
Oh
any
man.
subject, even, and it can be a spiritual one or whatever, or any book that you love right now or whatever, just one. What would it be?
That is a really hard
I
question
know.
because I have read so many self-help books, so many business books, so many health books. And so it's too hard to pick one, but maybe what I would say is my first
Yeah.
books that I got started on. I will give Dr. Josh Axe a shout out. His health books were the first ones that I went and read when I was trying to learn, like, okay, I've grown up eating frosted flakes for breakfast. What do I need to do? What do I
Right.
change? Why does food play such a huge role? I did start with his books, and I think he's genius at what he's doing and such a great mentor in the health space. So I would just recommend any of his books.
And his son just got a mission call, which is kind of cool. I was reading his podcast or
Oh,
his post the other
that's
day.
Dr. Josh Red. I was saying
Oh,
Josh Axe.
Axe is different. Okay, cut that out, Rafaela. Thank you. And then okay, last. I swear, I get a little overwhelmed easily with all of this stuff. What is your advice for somebody that is like me, right? Because it can be all consuming where it doesn't feel like love and light and joy anymore. It just feels like fear and, oh my gosh, everything's toxic and I'm dying. And like, what's your advice on that? Because I'm somebody that gets overwhelmed really easily. And I'm just like, whoa, wait, it's like, it's everything. And then I started to like ruminate on that and it kind of went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts on that?
I'm the same way as you. And so I'll tell you, when I met that doctor that finally was going to help me heal from depression, and she did
Yeah.
help me heal, she was like, okay, we need to really look at your nutrition and we need to look at your beauty products and we need to look at your lifestyle choices. And she was like, started asking me questions like, and remember, this is back when I didn't know anything. I was eating frosted flakes thinking I'm being healthy. And she's like, do you eat whole grains uh, each day? Like, do you have quinoa? And I was like, what? Like, what in the world is quinoa? And then she's like, do you know if any of your products have high fructose corn syrup? And she's like asking all these questions. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know fruits and veggies. You know what I mean? So I finally just
Yeah.
said, okay, I will just throw up my hands and say, forget this if I don't do it one little step at a time. I have to take it just one little step at a time or I will never do this. And so it first started with like, okay, let's just start walking every day to get vitamin D. And once I was like good with that, it was like, okay, now let's go look at your food and look for artificial dyes. Like go look in your pantry. Actually, it was high fructose corn syrup first. Go look and see what things have high fructose corn syrup. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Ritz crackers do. So she's like, well, then let's just find a swap for Ritz crackers and make a better choice than Ritz crackers. And so then once I felt like I was an expert at high fructose corn syrup and it's like, okay, I've swapped everything out in my house with high fructose corn syrup, then I moved on to artificial dyes. And then once I got artificial dyes out of everything and I was like, oh my gosh, it was in hand soap. Who knew it was in hand soap? Then I went to like the next ingredient. I didn't do beauty products for a while. I didn't do cleaning supplies for a real long time after that.
Yeah,
It took
totally.
me years to clean it all up. And so
Right.
I tell people like don't go to your bathroom and just throw out everything. To me, a
Right.
better way is like, okay, when you're done with that deodorant, maybe look for a better choice deodorant. And when you're
Yeah.
done with that makeup or whatever, find a better choice one. And the other thing I try to teach on my site is that there's a good, better, best because really there aren't any perfect foods out there except just like real fruits and veggies. And we all have to buy processed foods. Like you're going to buy processed foods. So find the best option. And if you can't find the best option at your store, then find a better option. And if there's not the better, then find a good. But any of that's better than the crap that is full of toxins that we're consuming. And so my thing I'm hoping that I'm portraying to people is take it one little step at a time. Every little step each day will add up to a huge like snowball effect where you'll be living a healthy lifestyle. And two, there's no perfection in the health world. No one eats perfect. like just look for a better choice option, and that will do your body more good.
And we can thank Elder Uchtdorf for that talk because I,
Uh,
you
I
can,
forgot about that actually, or
I,
one of them.
yeah, I watched Elder Uchtdorf's talk like a while ago. Well, you can cut this out, guys. But, and he did the good, better, best. And so I did a post about broccoli and I'm like, good, better, best, right? We have like, here's raw, here's organic, and here is or here's like organic frozen, here's like just real, and then here's like not organic but still broccoli. Good, better, best. Like your body appreciates, just do the best you can.
Well,
So
and with fruits and veggies, I say any fruits and veggies is better than none at all. So just eat the
thank
fruits
you.
and veggies.
Yes, and well, I'm glad to know that you would take a hybrid healing approach like me. I call myself a hybrid healer where I'm like,
Oh, I
I
love
got the
that.
surgeries. Isn't that cute?
Love that.
We
I'm
can
gonna
collab
start
on
using
something.
that.
Hybrid healing. But thank you so much, Karalynne, for everything. Like this was such an honor, and I'm so grateful for all of the good that you're doing in the world. And everybody, go buy all of her products because you don't have to worry about putting any crap in your body, and that's really important as a two-time cancer survivor. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything.
Well, thank you for what you're doing because I actually send people to you quite often when they're dealing with cancer. I'm like, oh, you've got to go follow her. She's going to open your eyes to a few new things.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
everything
much.
you're doing.
Thanks. All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you on the next one and have a great day. Bye.